Coming up on Weekend Today, we're going to go live to Hollywood with all the latest gossip.
But next, the perilous Arctic adventure. We'll speak to the Australian couple who sailed into the treacherous waters after the break. Stay with us. Thank you, Carl. Bring us home a bagel. Now, the Northwest Passage in the Canadian Arctic is one of the most dangerous sailing routes in the world. And young Australian couple Chris Bray and Jess Taunton have just finished this rather perilous journey, and they've joined us now to tell the tale. You've had to have a bit of a break because of this change of season up there.
Yeah, basically at the moment the ocean's freezing over solid up there, so for most of the year you just can't sail up in the Arctic, so we're basically forced to do it in little breaks.
Jess, whose idea was this?
Definitely Chris's. I've never been sailing before in my life, so, you know, buying a boat in the first place was a big step. And then when Chris proposed to sail it back to Australia via the Northwest Passage, that was huge for me, a huge personal journey as well.
It's a giant leap of faith to do this, even for an experienced sailor, I would say. You know, how confronting was it for you?
It was so challenging. I suffer a lot from seasickness as well, so that was...
This is sounding great.
I mean, that was awful. There was a 12-day crossing from Canada to Greenland. I was seasick for like 2 days straight, and yeah, that was so hard for us.
Oh, well, I bet the hook was the scenery that you go through, because you're both photographers and you've both, you know, documented your journey, and absolutely beautiful pictures. Tell us a little bit about your boat, Chris. Is she specifically built for this type of adventure?
Not really, actually. She's a very, very small boat, 29 feet long, and made of wood with one little layer of fiberglass, so not at all steel or anything, which most boats going through ice, you know, you'd want to be quite strong, but it's just a little boat. It's got a junk rig sail, which is that Chinese sort of folding sail, like a Venetian blind.
Yeah.
It's a very unique, very simple kind of sail, easy to sail. But yeah, the big problem up in that part of the world is that it's just, you know, it's quite uncharted. So the charts just have big open areas where you've got no idea how deep it is, where the rocks are, and ice, of course. You're always looking out for ice. Not only the big icebergs, you can see them. Yeah. It's the little bits that fall off them that you've got to worry about running into. And
well, you say she's rather thin-hulled, and you know, you put this boat together yourself, did you?
Yeah, we bought her, and we bought her sight unseen, so we didn't know what we were getting into when we first bought her. And then we arrived in Canada and found out that she was mostly rotten wood.
Look at that. That is worth the journey alone. Now,
For sure.
who was offshore? Who was off the boat to take that pic?
That was me. I was in a little rubber, like a blow-up dinghy.
Yeah.
While Jess sailed around the other side of the iceberg, and I was sitting there going, oh no.
So you've become quite a confident sailor then.
She's good. She's really good now.
Yeah, by the end of the trip, when I'm not seasick.
What dangers have you experienced? Because, you know, you say that the bergs that you can see are the ones that are safe. But have you had any collisions or problems?
Well, plenty of problems. No collisions, thankfully. The engine caused us a lot of problems. We had to learn how to totally take apart our engine and put it back together. And on shore, you've got to be worried about polar bears all the time.
Yeah, so we take a shotgun with us whenever we go to shore, just for polar bear protection, nothing more.
Yeah, you're not hunting polar bears.
No, but just in case they start hunting us. Then
yeah, we had killer whales as well come right up to the boat, and they've been known to sink yachts before, so that was, I mean, that was amazing, but quite scary at the same time.
Exactly. What provision is there for safety in the event of something happening? You know, you're a long way from any immediate help, I guess.
Yeah, totally. You're in the middle of absolutely nowhere, so we do have a lot of safety gear on board, like our dinghy we could use as a life raft, satellite phones, EPIRBs. So you can send a message out to authorities, but it would take them a hell of a long time to get there.
Yeah.
And what's the friction been like on board?
Well, we don't talk to each other anymore.
It's amazing. I thought I'd get sick of him, but really I ended up missing him, because we do work on 3 hours on, 3 hours off.
Yes.
Because you constantly need someone watching out for ice.
Yeah.
So I'd only see him for 5 minutes
and
during
we sort of pass each other in the corridor. We're like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep now.
Yeah, it was really quite amazing.
All right, so when do you resume?
Well, pretty much we're forced to be back here, save up some more money. We run photography courses and safaris to Kenya and things, so we've got to save up some money so we can then go back probably June next year. Okay,
so people who are watching this and want a little piece of that kind of action, now how do they get in contact with you guys?
Go to the webpage chrisbray.net or yachtteleport.com.
Yacht Teleport, which is the name of that fine vessel. Chris, Jess, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Up next, Hollywood Goss with Sandy Mitchell. What's happening in Hollywood, Sandy?